Samuel Rutherford Crockett was a Scottish writer. He was born in 1859 in Little Uchtred, Balmagie in Galloway, the illegitimate son of dairymaid Annie Crockett. In 1876 he won the Galloway bursary to attend the University of Edinburgh. During his studies he supplemented his income by writing for various journals since 1877, but in 1879 he left the university without graduating. He then studied at the Edinburgh's New College and became a minister of the Free Kirk in the town of Penicuik in 1886. In 1887 he married Ruth Mary Milner. He had a notable part in obtaining justice for the families of the 63 miners who died in the Morriswood pit disaster in 1889. He retired from the ministry to pursue full-time writing in 1895 and died in 1914 in Tarascon-sur-Orne, France. He wrote over 60 books, often historical and dealing with his native Scotland. We shall review his 1896 Mad Sir Uchtred of the Hills. The story begins with Sir Uchtred Dowell of Garthland sitting alone and naked in a hole and being pursued by dogs. Now this is how it came to pass. Uchtred, though a loving husband to his convent-bred wife Philippa, has a very nasty side. His own brother Randolph is openly wooing Uchtred's wife under his own nose, but Uchtred does not cast him out and is often musing on just how he wishes to kill him. He is also prone to do the king's bidding, so that when he is ordered to hunt down Catholics, he does so merrily, having his men shoot them en masse in the forest. But then he is sent to arrest the priest Alexander Renfield and shut up the church of Kirkchrist. When the soldiers are piling up the bedding and marriage clothes of Renfield's wife, not to steal but to burn it out of spite, the priest says nothing. But when they would burn his children's cradle out of malice in front of his wife, he pronounces the curse on Uchtred, who falls to the ground and becomes mad. Stripping off all his clothes, he runs off in fear as he imagines God is crumpling up all the world's sins into a giant ball of fiery metal and is throwing it at his head, among several other such cheery visions. After hiding in the hills naked, he imagines himself leading an army of phantom musketeers to go hunt down Catholics. But an old shepherd and his wife do see some shades following him as the sky rains down blood. Uchtred finds his way to the house of Gibbie, one of his tenants, and he tries to call him out so they can go and hunt Wicks together with his imaginary regiment. But a big shock for Uchtred, the man refuses to open the door to the crazy naked man and his invisible horseman. Shooting at Uchtred to drive him off, Uchtred plays possum to draw Gibbie nearer so he can kill him. But then he makes the old man strip and will let him live if he can run to his cottage before Uchtred can overtake him, but will mercilessly slaughter him otherwise. And though the old man saves himself by being so ridiculous that even the madman doubles over in a fit of merriment, Uchtred does not return home. Instead, he finds a hole in the forest where he lives for several years as a wild, dirty thing, hunting rabbits as a wild beast and devouring them raw, living with a cat with a lame leg whom he calls Belus and keeps calling it his god, and himself King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. All the while being hunted by the hounds of his tenants for 3 years, delighting in strangling the dogs with his bare hands and in the warm blood he spills. In the meantime, his brother Randolph still tries to worm himself into the love of Philippa, and the madman sees him embrace her as his terrible distorted face leers on them from the outside window. Randolph then hunts Uchtred with hounds himself, with Uchtred delighting in the prospect of giving him a slow agonizing death and watch the life ebb out of him his own twin brother, a very amusing oddity.